Welcome to Voices of Rise, the podcast that shines a spotlight on the women who are leading the future and shaping real change. These are honest conversations about leadership, resilience, and what it truly takes to rise. Get ready for powerful insight, bold perspectives, and voices you need to hear. Women who aren't just talking about change, but making a dent in the universe. Hello, I'm Nicola Sands, and in today's launch episode of Voices of Rise, I'm delighted to be joined by Sandra McManus, Director of the Rise Conference and an Executive Coach. Sandra has a wealth of experience in the education sector, and her passion for developing others and helping people to thrive led her to create leadership programs for both staff and students that have helped hundreds of people to grow and succeed. And she now brings those same skills to Rise, the leadership conference for women that gets bigger and bolder every year. Welcome to episode 1, Sandra, of Voices of Rise. How exciting.
It's very exciting, and thank you so much for inviting me along today. It's a real privilege. Thank you.
It's great to see you. So you are the director and the organiser of the Rise Conference, which is only in its second year, is that right?
It is, yes.
So tell us first, how did you get to be the organiser and the director?
I think there's a wonderful lady called Gulnaz Brennan from the She Inspires Foundation who likes to find people that can work with her and support the fabulous work that the foundation does. So I came from a leadership background. I used to run leadership programs in my organisation, and I'm a coach, so I always coached in the organisation. So I think she thought I might be able to achieve what we were looking for, which was to kind of shape the foundation further now and enable women to support and learn different things in a different way than we've done before.
So tell us about the Rise Conference. I mean, last year was the first one. How was that, doing it for the very first time?
A bit nerve-wracking, wondering if anybody would attend, hoping that people would enjoy what we were providing and that they would see the value in there. But it was also really rewarding. It was a lovely day. I met some fantastic women. I think people made some really good connections.
What was the idea behind it, Sandra?
I think the idea is to enable women, whatever point in their career they're at, be that as a startup organisation or someone looking to go into middle management or C-suite, to be able to go to a leadership conference and not just sit and listen to other people, which I've done many a time, which, yeah, you can take away some good stuff and go and implement that, but to have a voice as well. So we had circa 100 people attend, and out of that 100 people, probably 60 had a voice on the day, because we did some panels where people were listening, but we also did some roundtables where people were active in discussions about things that mean a lot to them.
What are the main discussion points that you like to focus on for the conference?
We always have something about leadership and what does leadership look like. And I know it's a leadership conference, so that sounds like so we should. But we don't want to just focus on perhaps what other conferences do, leadership styles, different ways of doing things. It's more what's the wider elements of leadership and how do you move into leadership. And I think the ability to discuss is that safe place where women can go and think, actually, I really want this, but I'm not sure how to get it. And I'm a bit lacking in confidence, but I've just heard that lady over there who had a similar issues to me in the workplace or had the same kind of personal progress I'm looking for, so I can make that connection and look for my own benefits.
Okay, and you have like roundtables and discussions on like money, AI, pitching, all kinds of different things.
Yeah, different things. And I think what's really important about Rise is the fact that it's a listening thing as well. It's not just a talking thing. And so we listened last year, and it was very evident that people were talking about women's health. It's important. It can affect them in the workplace, menopause, taking time out to have children, looking after elderly relatives. They're all things that impact on women's ability to manage families in the broadest sense and also do a really good job at work. So listening from there, therefore, we've put some effort into putting some workshops on this year to cover some of those topics. AI, we talked about a little bit on our digital panel, but some people are very familiar, use it every day. Other people, they were terrified. So there'll be an AI workshop this time so that people who are not as au fait with others can book onto that and think, yeah, I will learn a little bit more about what it can do for me personally and for my business, and I won't be afraid of ChatGPT or other options later.
It's an opportunity, isn't it, AI? It really is an exciting opportunity.
Hugely. But I think then allowing us to strike that balance. I think this year we've potentially got some people coming in delivering a workshop on writing. There are so many women out there now writing books, writing articles, writing papers, writing scientifically, and self-publishing is much easier than it used to be than going to a big publishing house. So lots of small elements that were fed back just from 1 year that we could then incorporate into this year's plans.
That's very interesting about the book writing because, you know, they do say everybody's got a book in them.
Something I'd love to do, write a children's book. I've always wanted to do it.
Have you?
It's just that stepping across the Rubicon, isn't it? And having a go, because what's the worst that can happen? So,
yeah, having the confidence. Well, they do say that the book that changes your life isn't the one you read, it's the one you write yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's kind of knowing how to go about it, I suppose.
Definitely.
So tell us a bit about your business journey then, Sandra. So what's your background in business?
So my background in business is all within education. So I've spent 36 years in the education sector, in sixth form in particular, and spent the last 16 years of my career as a senior leader. So looking after curriculum, looking after staff wellbeing, planning a lot of what we did, and particularly making sure our students were being upskilled all the time. I think people don't realise that curriculums are quite narrow across our schools, from primary right up to FE. So we always made sure that they got a better bundle than that. And that, for me, was such an important part of what I did.
And you organised leadership programmes, didn't you? Particularly for women, is that right, for the girls?
Yeah, definitely. So we had a Women in Leadership programme. That's still running. It's been passed on to some more safe hands at the Sixth Form College.
In Bolton?
Bolton
Sixth
Form College. And Annabelle's doing a fantastic job still with those and taking that to new levels. But it was to give those young women opportunities that they couldn't get for themselves. So allowing good speakers to come in, of which Gulnaz was one of them, and that's how I met her. And then, of course, she's well connected. She put me in touch with lots of other fabulous women. What was nice is the girls could ask lots of really good questions, and all the speakers said what fabulous questions they did ask. They were very insightful, they were very thoughtful, and they realised that their futures, many of the people that spoke to them didn't go to posh private schools. They were ordinary girls and women who have gone on to do great things, and so they took a lot from there. We used to do a cultural visit because, again, quite often they don't really step outside of Bolton, or certainly not Greater Manchester.
Yeah.
So we would go to Liverpool and do some cultural. We'd go to a university to raise those aspirations and broaden horizons. And we used to run a luncheon where, like, we're used to going to a luncheon and being able to talk easily to the people on your table. But again, those young women didn't have those opportunities.
Because it's all about, I mean, leadership and business, it's all about building relationships, isn't it?
Massively.
And having the confidence to do that. Can you tell, you know, when you see these young leaders and you see women in business, what stands out to you as the qualities that you think that person's really going to do well?
I think some of it is work ethic. So we've run projects before for some big Peel Holdings, some big companies, where the students have done things like a piece of artwork that's gone up in somebody's offices, or they planned a big piece of work that said, if we were doing this, these are the things that we would do. And when you see how hard they work, how much they want to collaborate. So I think good women collaborate as well, much more than men would. Not saying anything against men, but they tend to like to do things by themselves. They are quite kind in how they work as well. So even if they think somebody's idea isn't going to work, they don't just shout them down. They talk it through and say, and they come to a natural point, actually, it's not going to work. Right, let's go back over here. So I think seeing those, so hard work, collaboration, kindness, I think is important as well. And then you see the other side of things where there's a lack of self-belief. There's imposter syndrome. They're quite common as well. And those were the things that we definitely tried to overcome.
As the director of a leadership conference, what would you say are the main difficulties that women face as leaders or in business?
I see the biggest one as probably a lack of confidence, definitely. So there might be confidence in themselves, but then to overcome barriers that might come in the way. And I think women feel a bit disingenuous if they think somebody else in an organisation is holding them back. So they might mind read a little bit as well and think the reason I'm not getting this is because they don't like me, they don't value the work that I do.
They take things more personally.
Definitely. And they're less likely to go and have a conversation that says, this is how I'm feeling about this. Is this right? Am I reading the room correctly? Or am I just, missing the point here? And quite often it's when they have those conversations that they realise those people weren't thinking in that way. They just didn't see what the individual was seeing that they thought was blocking them from doing those next steps.
Interesting. So it's about having the confidence to step up and talk and build relationships. And I suppose women as well in their lives, they have the children, menopause, there's lots of things going on. They might be carers. There's a lot to contend with, isn't there?
Hugely.
So, but the more we speak about it, the better it is.
And I think that's what Rise has given an opportunity for. It's a really safe space to talk about the issues that lots of people face that probably from my generation, my mum's generation, they went through the same issues, but they didn't talk about them. They just saw that as something that they had to deal with, and they had to deal with it by themselves. Whereas now people get into conversations and they can meet new people and make some genuine connections and think, if I have that problem, I know I can go and talk to that person and they will listen and they will understand where I'm coming from. So really supportive.
What are your main hopes for Rise this year then, Sandra?
I think that the women who attend learn some great stuff about working in different sectors. So again, we try and support the work that's going on in GM at the moment and the global and wider economy. So focusing on the sectors of employment that we know are big, typically the ones where women are less involved. So things like utilities, finance, digital and technology. So to encourage women that those kind of organisations are not off limits, go and find them because we need more women to broaden the perspectives in those organisations. So I think lots of genuine learning, lots of genuine participation and being able to have a voice and speak about things and their experiences and share those. A genuine chance to network and not just talk about networking. We're actually going to upskill. So we're doing some upskilling with an organisation, and then we're actually going to do some networking, which then can continue into lunch. And then quite a lot of workshops in the afternoon as well.
Some lovely food as well.
The food is fantastic.
Food is absolutely unbelievable.
So the Midland Hotel, again, we book that because we want a really nice environment where we feel like we're being treated well and it's special and that it's a worthwhile event to attend.
And we're offering some of the women the chance to feature on these episodes of Voices of Rise.
This is so exciting. This is new and we're really grateful for your sponsorship for this as well. So having an opportunity to have this broadcast quality information about what you do yourself or your organisation that you want to share with other people, it's such an exciting opportunity.
It will be great to hear the women's stories about their business, about their journeys and their insights as well. I really can't wait to meet them. It's going to be great. Well, thank you very much, Sandra. That's been a really interesting conversation today, and best of luck with all the preparations for Rise. I can't wait for it this year.
No, I'm very excited myself. So, I'm looking forward to the day.
Thanks, Sandra.